10 animals you can meet. Everyone knows that lions can be found in Africa, buffalo in North America, kangaroos in Australia, and so on. These are species endemic to these areas, and it is not unusual to see them there. In this list, we'll shatter some misconceptions. Some well-known animals can live where you wouldn't expect to see them. These animals aren't just escaped pets, they thrive in these areas, and their populations spread over large areas. Next time someone tells you they've seen some unusual animal by the roadside, try to believe them, maybe they're not lying. Camels. Camels are usually found in Africa and parts of Asia, but Australia also has a population of 1 million wild camels. The population breeds at an incredible rate, doubling every 9 years. The camels were brought into the country by Conrad Moltbrun, who needed camels to explore the uninhabited Australian deserts. Since their arrival, the creatures have become pests. They eat plant tops and destroy infrastructure in search of water. It has happened that camels have broken into homes to drink from the toilet. Because of this, hunters are allowed to kill camels, but their population is still growing. Zebras in Texas. There is a ranch in Texas where hunters are allowed to kill zebras for a big price. People have brought zebras to Texas, where they have begun to breed. Humans do not interfere with the population except for hunting. The ranchers do not feed them or force them to breed. It is a completely wild population of zebras. The temperature and environmental conditions in Texas are similar to those in Africa, allowing the zebras to breed and lead full lives. Hippos in Colombia. In the 1980s, famous drug lord/billionaire Pablo Escobar built a zoo in his backyard. One of his favorite animals was 4 hippos from Africa. After his death, authorities decided the animals were too large and dangerous to transport anywhere and left them to die. Instead, the animals were able to escape into the wild, where they still live today. By 2007, the population had grown to 16 individuals living in the Magdalena River. When Escobar contemplated his legacy, he hardly imagined that he would leave behind hippos. Parrots in San Francisco. Most wild parrots live in the jungles of South America and are often kept as pets for their beautiful coloration. In San Francisco, several parrots have flown away from their owners. Unlike other escaped pets, the parrots survived and began to breed, making a home in the Telegraph Hill neighborhood. Telegraph Hill parrots have become popular and are now a tourist attraction. Their population has already reached 100. The beautiful green and red birds are very friendly and like to be fed. Monkeys in Florida. The continental United States is not home to free-ranging primates other than humans. However, in the wet swamps of Florida, in Silver River State Park, there is a colony of rhesus macaques. In 1938, a tour operator offering boat tours released the macaques into the wild in an effort to attract more tourists. 60 years later, the existing colony received new individuals after Hurricane Andrew. Animal experimentation labs were destroyed during the hurricane, releasing a few more macaques into the wild. Despite their good-natured appearance, the creatures are prone to violence and are quite strong, which is why tourists are advised not to approach them. Panthers in England. Although none of the official government organizations admits it, there is a belief that there are several big cats in England, about which there are 3 to 4 testimonies from eyewitnesses every day. People who have seen the animals describe them as big and black, which is similar to panthers. There are several possible explanations for the animals, but the leading theory has to do with the Dangerous Wild Animals Act passed in 1976. When the law went into effect, owners of dangerous animals had to face huge fines. Because of this, many such owners released domestic pets, including panthers, into the wild. Penguins in South Africa. Penguins are associated with frozen wastelands and floating glaciers. In fact, there are other penguins, such as the African, also known as the spectacled penguin. Unlike imperial penguins, which prefer cold climates, African penguins live on the warm beaches of South Africa. Most of the time they are in the water, but sometimes they can be seen on the ground as well. Lucky beachgoers can sometimes enjoy a swim in the crystal clear water with these clever creatures. Sharks in landlocked lakes. The bull shark is perhaps the most famous freshwater shark to be found in rivers and bays. In a rare circumstance, a flood can carry sharks across land areas and they end up in landlocked lakes. Such a coincidence happened in 2007 in Australia, resulting in 10 bull sharks entering a lake on a golf course. Several months passed and the sharks continued to live there, breeding and growing in size. Despite all the dangers involved, the golf course players and owners loved the sharks because the kids stopped coming to the lake and picking up lost golf balls. Emu in Texas. Once again, Texas is home to a population of unusual animals, this time, the emu population. In the early 1990s, some Texas farmers thought there was a lot of money to be made from breeding emus. When the investment didn't pay off, many emus were left to fend for themselves in the desert. Given that their natural habitat in Australia is very similar to conditions in Texas, the emu population has blossomed. Today, there are hundreds of huge, flightless birds. Bird watchers in England. If someone from England is reading us, pay attention. If panthers weren't enough, you should also be wary of the Chilean rose tarantulas. These spiders, which grow to a size of 25 centimeters, arrive to England in shipping containers from Central America. If the month in England is hot and humid enough, the spiders may begin to breed. No substantial spider colonies have yet been found, but several individuals have been found in the past few years. If you ever encounter these spiders, by no means approach them. When a spider is threatened, it uses its hind legs to shoot poisonous hairs at a predator, which can cause severe pain and even blindness. Do what everyone else does when they see a huge spider: run for your life.